5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban. Radiant team ban. OG's turn to ban. Radiant team ban. OG's turn to ban. Radiant team ban. OG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Naga Siren. Radiant team pick.
Elder Titan. Lion.
Behind the shield.
Wow. Hello, everybody. Welcome into the EU qualifiers. We are here on Beyond the Summit. Of course, SEA just finished here on Beyond the Summit, but if you're looking for more SEA action, it's up on BTS2 with Gods and Lumi. That'll be on the upstairs cast. But for now, we got a lot of EU action coming your way, of course. We have 8 teams battling out for one, that's right, one spot in the EU qualifiers. And it's going to start off big with, of course, Final Tribe versus OG, which I think, in my opinion, is probably one of the biggest games of this entire qualifier, I would say.
It is. This here is Mont. I'll handle this. My name's Purge.
Thanks.
We got Lyrical here, and we got Drask on the end.
We're not.
Yeah, see, the only reason Mont didn't say anything is because we're on the schedule to only be by ourselves
Yes.
up in the closet upstairs. And,
Right.
I wasn't looking forward to that. But now we got a 4-man couch. I'm excited to have you guys here. What do you guys think about this match? Is this the hype match? Is this the match to watch of the tournament?
I think we're starting strong, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing, this match in particular because I think for both of these teams, it's going to set the tone for the rest of the qualifier.
Yeah, and both are slight unknowns. Final Tribe had a lot of experience playing DSC minors at least, so they got a couple of DPC events, but in them they didn't do great. They didn't that close to points. They took some games off good teams, but they didn't do incredible. And then OG on the other side just had to disband more or less with some roster swaps between players. And I'm excited to see how well they do and can truly.
10 seconds
For me, it's kind of weird. It's like I feel like the expectations in some way are higher on OG, but at the same time, I feel like that should be the case for the Final Tribe more because they're the squad that has actually performed better. I would say at the DPC, they're the squad that has been stuck together for a longer period of time. I think they should be coming into this one the favorite, but regardless of that, just because of the name OG,
yeah.
There's that feeling of they should be the ones to take it.
Yeah, I mean, you have somebody like Big Daddy No-Tail, you have Anna reuniting with the team, Jerax. I mean, these are all players with super high expectations.
Yeah, I mean, Anna's won a couple majors, right?
Yeah.
And that was back when majors were, if anything, a bigger deal based on the competitiveness level. So I think it's, maybe this is what OG needed. A big shift instead of just a player sub.
Yeah. So they made it through the open qualifiers. They did it pretty easily in the first round of the open qualifiers. They had the Anna carry, obviously No-Tail switch to support, tops into the mid lane, and we do have a draft. It is Final Tribe versus OG, Beastmaster, Lion, Elder Titan, OG pick up Naga, and Scoureth Mage start things off.
So from my perspective, the OG lineup so far looks normal compared to what I've been watching in CIS the whole time. But the Final Tribe picks are weird. We haven't seen much Elder Titan, and a line in the first phase seems bizarre to me.
Well, I've been watching China, so we got a little bit of everything here,
Okay,
and
so this
the
is more of a China?
looks normal. The Lion is the one that's a little bit weird, and Beastmaster, I feel like we've been all over the place. The only thing that I see a little bit strange about the OG draft is that normally with the Naga sign, we've been seeing Hero or Disruptor, one of those to try and combo together for team fight, whereas this seems like more bully main.
I mean, Sky still has really good synergy with Naga, though. You have that into Ultimate, obviously. Sky's a bit more of a lane dominator, I would say, than your classic Disrupt. Hero is kind of in the same vein as that, but I think Skywrath has shown recently to be, even as a late game transition of 4 or 5, however you play it, it's still ridiculous.
Radiant team
Question for me is, what are they going to put with the Skywrath Mage, which I think will probably do like a bully offlane or something along those lines. They could send the Naga down there. Actually, I guess it'll be Skywrath safe lane. They'll do the Naga down bottom with somebody else.
I think no matter what happens, Sky is going to be relatively happy. Elder Titan is pretty good at trading hits, but Sky's so fast that at least he has some way to get away from it. So I feel, and against Lion, he definitely trades better. So I feel like no matter what happens with the Sky pick, he's going to be relatively
10 seconds remaining.
probably the reason they the Lion LT.
I can't believe there hasn't been a Mirana pick. Not picked or banned. This hero feels like the hero of the qualifiers so far.
Really? Just be China.
It
'cause
feels pretty difficult though to pick Mirana into either of these lineups from my
Okay.
perspective. Like Mirana excels in situations where one of the enemy teams doesn't have either a lot of catch or their laning phase is relatively weak. I'd say OG's lanes are already looking pretty strong. And Final Tribe, Lion and lane is actually pretty decent. The thing that Mirana excels at is having really good range, so you can just out harass. And during the mid game, you can just play the back line of the fight. But you're going to have Beastmaster and Lion on one side, and Naga Sky on the other. And both of those heroes are very good against Mirana, and especially now with OG now taking PL, it seems really hard to, like for Final Tribe especially.
does combo with Final Tribe's other hero. So if there wasn't a PL, I definitely would have.
Yeah, absolutely. If PL was not on OG right now, I would say Mirana would be solid. Because the hero functions well in a lot of situations. One of her biggest downfalls is any hero that can create like a mass amount of units or illusion. That's the one thing that she can't really deal with. Because people just don't build like Aghanims and stuff. You can't really clear them out that fast.
Does Mjolnir not rectify that situation?
Not against
great.
the PL, in my opinion.
It's
You
good
need
like
more.
by mid game, but by late game, it's actually terrible.
Like once he gets a heart and stuff like that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
once
it's
he
so
has enough
bad then.
tankiness, the illusions don't die anymore. Or they don't die fast.
I still kind of like this game though, just because of having like Elder Titan as a range setup.
Holy
wow.
crap. I was not...
All
we had a
right.
Meepo pick earlier today, now we have an Arc Warden. I don't know how to feel about this hero
Huh.
because he's so weird sometimes to watch.
He's also against a PL, which also feels very bizarre, but it can be a very strong ganky hero in the late game. It's like a hero that's going to get a Shadow Blade, he's going to have a Maelstrom, obviously, and then he usually buys things like Nullifier or Orchid, so if he moves around and initiates on the PL, he can absolutely get solo kills, but if we're talking like a normal team fight and they both kind of engage and PL isn't necessarily caught out, then Arc Warden can be...
I will say, it's interesting that Final Tribe picked Arc Warden because OG, especially with Anna, they used to play this hero all the time, and they were the masters of it. They would split push, they would gain an advantage, they would try to... And they had that great late game that OG had back in the day, so...
I wouldn't say amazing Arc Warden advantage, I don't remember the exact word you used, because it never seemed to work amazing to me as a hero. It was like they were trying so hard to make the hero work. I felt like what I saw, what they liked about it was like, we can delay the game so long because we can use Magnetic Field on towers when people... And then we can cast it again, and then we can cast it again. It takes much longer to high ground. But past that, it felt like it had issues. It was like putting a lot of farm into a hero that just doesn't gank as well as like a Slark, for example. It felt better to have a hero like that instead than of an Arc.
I think it's going to be hard to find him too nowadays. Like you look at this lineup, they don't really have that great like initial catch. Like right now, they literally have no stuns except for Naga ult. And I feel like Arc Warden's not necessarily like an elusive hero, but like you do need to be able to control the Tempest double, 'cause otherwise it's just going to kill you.
Is he even good in lane? Like, because everyone's doing dual lanes, right? Like I feel like he's okay. He's got good stats. He has bad damage, but they're good. Dual lane here with like an Elder Titan.
Do they
is he
still
solo?
send him mid?
I don't even know. Like nobody plays Arc Warden these days.
It's definitely interesting. I mean, in my opinion, it's just a difference of style. Like Final Tribe are going to want to go for more picks. They're not going to look to directly fight into what OG have. I mean, they've taken their patented Brewmaster. They've put this hero since I think the very first iteration. But for me personally, Arc Warden is I'm going to pick on the supports and potentially kill the Brew. If that hero is ahead, very, very strong, it can just pressure the map on its own. And if you don't have people in position ready to kill him, then like kind of what Gabe was speaking to, he's not necessarily like really good at escaping, but he plays the map. So I think it's going to be if Final Tribe can get what they want out of it using the Beastmaster for vision. You have Elder Titan to disengage with, get a stomp on the back line, try to run away. Don't really overcommit to fighting OG 5v5 because I think...
The other thing they could maybe do if Final Tribe are trying to do some weird stuff with this, you've now got two different like attack speed oriented heroes. You've got Inner Beast Aura, and then you've also got the Magnetic Field. Conceivably, they could try and like do some early pushing with this lineup too. It's like a different way than we've seen Arc Warden played before. But I'm looking at this lineup right now from OG, and I guess the Brew it kind of deals with it a little bit. But that's something else that they're going to need to be wary of. They don't have much deep push.
Oh my god. Thompson Invoker. Played this a lot recently. Like this in Pugna from what I've seen.
I think it's great with the NagaNet. NagaNet can set up Skywrath ulti, set up Sunstrike. They can Brewmaster pressure. It's going to be not the easiest in the late stage, but the Final Tribe heroes are all pretty vulnerable. Like ET, Line, Arc Warden, those guys are very burstable with a little bit of pressure. I feel like the Invoker, if he's laning against Arc Warden, should be able to outlane him. Way higher damage.
Well,
Arc Warden doesn't have good armor.
in the past, Thompson has done it Quas Wex too.
Yeah, he was the Meteor Hammer Invoker.
So I'm not sure if he still does that or not, though.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah, that was
With
him.
like the Tornado.
Yeah,
Okay.
Tornado
Yeah.
Meteor Hammer, that was Thompson.
You guys ever watch those games?
Yeah. It actually worked really well for him when he... I don't know if that's what he's going to do now. Like, I do think there's some synergy in Naga, but it depends on if they want to control or not. Like, Quas Wex Invoker is all about control. Early to mid game, just being completely dominant. There are low base mana pool heroes on Final Tribe too, so Tornado EMP destroys Beastmaster, destroys other Titan, even Arc Warden to a certain extent. So, for me personally, I think the main reason they picked this hero is because Final Tribe do not have a lot of reach. It's pretty much just Lion if he gets a blink, and we haven't seen Beastmasters by anything but Shadowblade.
What is happening in this game?
Oh, this got weird. Okay.
Alchemist Arc
I think they're
Warden?
going to push with this. I think this is going to be a safe lane Alk and then, or try and like accelerate really quickly. God, I don't know. What the hell is a Final Tribe doing? I got no idea.
I think Alk might go more of a Shadowblade build.
You have like 3 Shadowblade heroes. You want to build 3 Shadowblades?
Let's do it.
Why not just have like obscene map controls? Is that not
You just
a
have
good
like
thing?
3 Ricky Marus running around the map.
Okay,
They're
yeah.
all looking for
Sentries
ganks.
are going to be valuable, but that doesn't mean that they're not good at.
No,
like,
I know what
gank
you're
setting, you know?
saying. I see where you're coming from. I'm really actually no idea what this Alk is gonna do.
It's either that or he'll go typical Radiant Octarine build and throw stuns every like 3 seconds. That's actually probably a decent way to do with the PL. Because you have so many stuns,
Right.
and they're so low cooldown, and they have a big AoE, you're just going to toss them on PL constantly, and maybe it'll give them enough teamfight control. And they've got tons of minus armor. Alk, Titan Aura. Might be a decent solution.
The real strat is the late game Lion Aghanims pool for the illusion clear.
Snap.
And that too, yeah. Huh.
This is a really interesting draft from Final Tribe though.
Alk can also get 30% cleave at 20. Normally I'd never say you'd get that over the unstable concoction stun. But against a PL, that's 3/4 of a Battle Fury wide. So there's a lot of different ways they can go, and I'm excited to see so many new heroes all of a sudden. Get to see an Arc and an Alk same game.
I really think they're going to try and abuse this like attack speed, because now you've got like Alchemist, obviously, Chemical Rage, Insane. We've also got the Magnetic Field. We also got Inner Beast Aura. Like, if he just builds a couple of damage items, he's going to be doing so much damage in these fights. And as you guys mentioned, they've got the stuns, they got the lockdown.
And if he gets the base attack time perk, that would put his BAT at 0.8 at level 3, which is
Slap
insane.
chop.
That's like twice as fast as any other average hero.
If you think about the Alchemist pick overall though, it looks a bit greedy at first. But if you think about what he's going to be laning against, it's an Invoker.
It is a Quas Invoker,
Invoker does not really dominate the lane. It's interesting to say, but Invoker as Quas Wex does better against very aggressive mids than he does against mids that just want to trade farm, because he can abuse the Quas regen to trade effectively. But against Alchemist, once he hits 6, that's not going to work anymore. So if you're laning against like a Queen or a Lina or something and you're Quas Wex Invoker, you feel a lot more comfortable because you can abuse that regen to trade with. But the Alch doesn't care about trading with you, he just wants to hit the creeps.
Yeah.
And your base damage is not that good. So the Alchemist pick actually makes sense in the isolated 1v1 if they were assuming the Thompson was going to be going.
And I've watched a couple of his replays, and I tried this out myself, and it just felt so bad in the mid lane because I had so much trouble last hitting. Maybe I picked the wrong pass to do it, but like it felt like I couldn't get last hits, and then my mid game was like very reliant on me casting my spells correctly and doing good rotation.
Yeah, but Tornado EMP is not that hard to land. Like,
well, maybe I'm just real bad.
No, but from my perspective, because I've played hundreds of games of Invoker and a lot of Quas Wex too, it is very difficult to last it. But if you're given a melee matchup, he should be able to get his phase relatively quick. Sometimes people go double null, sometimes they go Aquila phase.
He went Bassi.
Yeah,
he did go Bassi, so he might go back to the Aquila. But the main thing about it is that once you get to like 5, no one's ever pushing you out of lane. And that's when you can start to get farm.
Remember, there was a while where it was the Alk versus Invoker mids too, and the thing we'd always have is that Bassi for the extra armor when Acid Spray goes down.
Right.
So just trying to stay alive through that. And this is the mess up of the last hits. Even just with that early point there in the tornado.
He's getting
He did it for the range creep, but
Yeah. When I watched his replays a few times, he would actually cast Tornado 2 or 3 guarantee last hits, because otherwise you just get too far behind focusing only on right click.
That's first blood. Just has Spark Wraith, a couple of auto attacks as well with the Earth Spike. So Good job.
Definitely a really cool thing about him as a dual laner here is that pretty much no matter what happens in the lane, he's going to be able to almost instantly throw a Spark Wraith because the cast range is so high. 100 damage for 80 mana. That's a really good way to contribute to trading.
I mean, what do you even max on Arc Warden right now in terms of this laning phase for your abilities?
Probably I would get probably 2 fast flux myself just to double the damage, and then I would probably max Spark Wraith. Maybe getting 1 magnetic field. That's better now. But
yeah.
It's against double melee though. I don't like if you get netted, it's really hard to make that ability useful, I feel.
I mean, it's 50 mana to cast it. It's a 20-second cooldown. Magnetic field's better, and it's also the attack speed. You could definitely argue for it you getting a kill. I think you might get 1, but no more than that in the lane. On walking to bot rune, pick here.
Era is just going to miss down on this, but he pushed the wave under the tower anyway, so he'll be able to get back in time for Era.
And Invoker's not going to get any last hits back to lane, so
he's just going to
all bad.
Out CS him. Level 2 has to spray level 1 Grievous Grid
He
for
can
now.
just dispel a DD though.
You know, that's a damn good point. And he does have.
There it is. Hey, look at that.
Countered.
Now, Era, what you think now?
Now he's
Yeah,
like,
but this is
why?
the point that we were trying to illustrate, right? Like these heroes are both just going to get farmed. And that, in some degree, that I think benefits Final Tribe a bit more, because if Alchemist gets the lane, and no one's going to rotate to kill this out. Like, they can, but what are you bringing? Naga doesn't really do that much damage. You'd have to bring the Sky and the Naga to be, like, really certain you're going to get that kill, and that's a really heavy commitment.
I'm really curious as to what Era's going to buy as his like first big item.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I feel like it's going to tell us a lot about how they want to play this game, because you can go super late with like the Arc Warden and the Alchemist, but I feel like that's also a little bit scary against PL. I'm not sure really who out carries the other there, but PL late game is really difficult to do.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be any trouble for Alk, I guess. Just because he farms so fast, you can buy Battle Fury and not have it be like a big gold sink. There's also bounty runes to think about, especially if his team gets good map control. Taking control of bounty runes and Spark Wraiths means he's going to accelerate even faster. 3.5 times gold right now for bounty rune multipliers. And that's going to mean, like, if they get 4 bounty runes in the mid game, he's going to get 2,000 gold.
That's actually insane.
Yeah. That's going to be nuts. Flux on Mad. He might just be dead here. 1 more auto attack, and he's actually going to avoid the Spark Wraith. Nice stick too. Earthspike though, it looks like No Tail might fall.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and Snare comes out, and I actually can't believe both of them are going to survive.
That Drunken Haze, I think, saved his
Pablo
life.
actually backed off there too.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Like he ran backwards and didn't like throw. I think he could have gotten at least 1 or 2 more times.
He was afraid of a Riptide, but it's level 1. I don't think he was that low in HP.
I think he actually made a mistake there, but it's not a big deal.
Well, anyway, they pushed them out of lane, which is really still good news for the Final Tribe. I don't know. Do you still think about Midas on Arc Warden if you're having a good enough lane, or is that something that
yeah.
passed?
I think you have to have
You
it.
have to get Midas. There's no way. It's the hero that can abuse it more than any other hero, I think,
Yeah.
safe to say.
Although that's the old, Arc Warden build, and they're doing funky things with this. I feel like
there's
with
no
their
way.
pick.
Like,
yeah.
it's anybody. It's like playing. You get a double cooldown. Anything that gives you a cooldown is what you want. Like you might get it after he's gonna get it after Aquila probably, so it's okay, but there's no way you skip it.
They finally get the kill on Matt as he returns back to lane. I think he TP'd in too. I'm not sure if he has one. Yeah, I think he TP'd into lane, so that's pretty bad for him. Meanwhile, they're gonna get Jirax in the top lane as well. Jonas will get dropped, so it's a 1-for-1 trade. But that's actually big for the PLOG. They get the kill on the Beastmaster, who was doing pretty well in this lane, and then Anna secures that, which is pretty nice.
So is Anna, he's playing 1 now, correct? Not
Yeah,
playing anymore?
from what I've seen in the open qualifiers, yes. Then slowly tops in mid lane.
I mean, they might switch things up if there's like a number or something. The signature Anna heroes.
Yeah.
But at least for now, that's what's going on. And good bit of damage here on the Yonason fan, trying to hide away. And
Dead again.
it's like Doppelganger
That was nice.
dodges.
And he's just dead again, just like that. And they can try to turn on Hanskin now. Yeah, he's going to get chased down. They have no mana for Spirit Lance, though. He does have stick charges. He won't use them. Jirax is going to chase him down, throw some more Arcane Bolts with the double
Needs to
null
be
tally.
careful.
He avoids the stomp. No, he actually gets hit by it. He was just on the edge. He's going to get auto attack twice, might die. But if Hanskin stays, he will certainly die. He doesn't want to trade his life away, so he'll back up. He's not going to go for the kill on Jirax with the smart. So.
I think he could have killed Jirax, but it definitely would have resulted in Annick back.
Yes.
It's probably not worth it. I think that's safe.
They're not going to use the Triumph? Gonna walk back home instead.
Not being greedy about it. I think if the Beastmaster needed to be healed. You don't, like, as a 4 or 5, you don't want a solo shrine.
Is Derek going Armlet? He had Helm of the Iron Will. I think he actually is big. First.
So, like going back to the mid matchup, the thing that I really feel is going to be the most important is what Thompson does with his early game. Because if you're playing against an Alk and you know that hero's free farming against you, and he definitely knows, you have to make some kind of influence in the game. Like he's going straight for the urn. This is pretty standard Quaswex stuff. What is he going to be able to do? Like, is he going to go bot? Is he going to kill the Arc Warden? Probably the highest value target that he can reasonably get. Because once that Alk hits 6, you do not have a lot of damage. So you need to like crush that safe lane, I feel.
It might be really hard to even kill him anyways. The latest addition to Alk is the Dispel with ult, so
Yeah, that's true.
Ult Snap or something like that make it even harder to get a kill.
That TP was almost amazing. He almost made it out of that, but he's going to get dropped down. That's a pretty big kill. They smoked for that with the Skywrath Mage just to get bottom, and it almost looked pretty bad there, but they do end up getting the kill, and that's Frost dead.
Interesting build on Jarex, actually. 2 points in bolts and 2 in... Just wants to maximize his damage output and not worry about the timing.
This is pretty standard.
I feel like I haven't seen this before. Surely almost everybody goes like 1-2-1 right now.
I've seen Max Concussive Shot a lot recently, where you get the 1 in Bolt, 1 in the Ancient Seal.
I just mean that he's skipping Ancient Seals.
Yeah.
I think that's unusual.
I think against the very like escape-driven heroes that like Mirana, for example, if you're playing against that hero, you would definitely get a value point. But since none of the heroes on TFT actually have an escape, I think it makes sense to just maximize your DPS because you're laning against Beastmaster or Elder Titan. Like, the silence is not going to do anything against those.
This Arc Warden is like left. He's over in the jungle
Going on
mid
air
right
mid.
now, and they're trying to take him down. This is a cool rotation.
He has no ulti for Arrow. The Tornado EMP is going to hit. He already has no mana, although he has a Soul Ring to work with, but it's not going to matter anyway. He's cold snapped. He does have his raindrop. He'll die anyway. No Tail getting chased down. He throws up the Riptide, and they almost get the kill on Hanskin. In fact, they do with the Arcane Bolt, but Thompson gets dropped down. Pablo comes in, throws up the Earth Spike. Now they've got the Roar with Jonas. They're going to clean this up. It's going to be 3 dead for OG. They turn into a 2-for-3 trade at the end of it. Good TPs and reactions from the final tribe there.
Did he get an urn charge from that on the Invoker?
You had to have, right?
He did, yes.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if
he's
he
got
died
two.
first.
That'll
So-
help a little bit.
That was really unfortunate timing because the gank, the Beastmaster was already 6 by the time they went on that one, so he was able to get a bonus kill. And Thompson tanked so much damage there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he let himself get hit that much.
Like under the tower too, I think.
Yeah, he was, sure.
But he is building straight into Spirit Vessel, which is
Amazing against Alk if you can get it off after the ult.
yeah.
That's true.
Taking a little bit to get there. Of course, the Alk, even with that death, he's still on top of the net worth as he should be. He's not at armlet yet, but he's close. I mean, does he want to just keep farming when he gets this armlet? Does he want to be involved? What does he want to do at this
He
point?
doesn't have any stuns, so he's definitely just going to keep farming.
Yeah.
I don't know how this guy contributes without any points in a concoction.
He'll probably get one in a... The extra levels of Grievel's Greeter are not that amazing. They're like a small,
nice steal.
small increase.
Derek's disagreeing with them. They actually have everybody rotating in. Thompson really wants his kill. He has the ultimate running now. The EMP is going to hit. They have a nice stomp from Hanskin, though, that'll split up the fight, stop them from regressing.
He doesn't want to... Once he did the EMP, started playing back really far. As soon as Hanskin's there, played safe. He's going to do some damage to Hanskin. The urn down with the cold snap.
That's
might be dead.
Yeah, he might be dropped here. He's going to try to get the stomp. No way. Too much damage coming in.
Honestly, very interesting. I honestly think this build on Jarex is it's actually maxing Arcane Bolt now. I guess just saving the 80 mana is kind of a lot, I guess. So, like, it probably increases combo damage by a decent amount, but it's probably less than just an extra point of Arcane Bolt. You know, like in the long term, he's going to save mana not casting Ancient Steel every time he goes.
Yeah. I think it's also for like the elongated chases, because they're going to have Quaswex Invoker, so you can chase for a really long time, given the vision of Arcane Bolt as well. And you saw like the vision that you get there, Thompson, that was able to help him get the kill on the other Titan.
Good point.
I do feel like this is going to be a bit of a tough one, though. Like, looking more and more at this Dispels on the Alk Ultimate, like, that completely destroys Quaswex and Invoker. I feel like
Well, that's
they
only
need
if
to
you let him use it like as the cold snap goes off, you know what I mean?
That's a good point.
If you force him to chemical rage and you cold snap him and vessel him, he's still gonna die.
But what forces you to chemical rage?
Just getting hit by pretty much anything, I guess. If you get lanced, if you get netted, you're gonna want to cast it.
I do like the Soul Ring pickup
Yeah.
for the Alk, because that means he can make sure that he can play at 0 mana. And
I mean, he's been playing at 0 mana for what feels like the entire last 5 minutes of the game, and he's going to continue to be at 0 mana, so it's a really good item. Now, he's going to get killed, though. Mr. Claire has
Soul
so
Ring!
much damage.
No Soul Ring!
They're going to stomp 3, but there's no follow-up there, and that's another out kill, and that's really big for them to keep the game in check, and also try to push into the tier 1 tower. They still have the Brew Split, too, if they want to try to take a fight. No song sort of initiation or counter-initiation for them, but they'll push them back for now. They do have rotating over Pablo, who was smoked up. He does have Finger. Maybe he can find Thompson. It's going to be tricky. I think they're just going to back up. He's really far up on the tower. Yeah, I think he's maybe going to be dead here. Axe is coming.
Nice.
Yeah, he just played way too far up onto the tower there. And they're going to get another. The roar comes out. Brewmaster does have that ulti, but he's going to get dropped down. Jonas gets a double kill. Now No Tail has to run. He has Song. He just queued it up, and he's going to use it maybe momentarily. Earth Spike avoided, which means he might be able to get back to the tower without having to use Song, which I think is kind of big for No Tail there.
I don't think he would have used it even if he would have died.
Yeah.
It's not worth casting a Song just to save his own life. But yeah, that was unfortunate. That Naga doesn't even have boots, right? Yeah, he just missed the stun.
The win lace.
It was still a nice play to be able to catch out the Invoker.
He was waiting under the trees for so long. He had a lot of options there, but a little too confident with the rotation, thinking they had everything under control, but no vision, basically. They had a ward between the 1 and tier 2, but they didn't have any of the other space, the warding in, but that was a big fight there.
And by the way, while this is all happening, we haven't really talked about Ana, but he has his Diffusal now. He's topping the net worth ahead of the Alchemist at this point, which is pretty good for him. So they're having a pretty good time, all things considered. But
And Vessel's done too, I think.
all right, they just split, Brew split on Frost, and they killed him. And JRX might die for this, but they're fine with that trade. And they'll probably just get out of the Brewmaster, I think. Although he might get caught here. There's 3 heroes here. They don't have to roar for another 10 seconds. He's probably dead anyway. Still, they did kill Frost, and they stopped that Midas timing even further.
Still, the Alk you got to be worried about. Like you said, he's...
Oh,
never
God.
mind. You don't need to be worried about him at all.
Oh, Jesus.
That Vessel man putting in work.
Lord. I
Except
actually
for
feel
Chargers,
like you might just need to save Chemical Rage for that now, which sucks. Like
it's hard. You can't do that.
Yeah.
If they just like Tornado EMP and he gets ensnared and Riptided, he's got very low armor, taking damage.
He needs to either like somehow find a way to fit a Manta into his build or a BKB, or someone on his team needs to get him this.
What a deny.
That was nice. That was with the Tornado coming out, too.
Or he could just get BKB, I guess, but...
Yeah, but you don't want to early BKB against these heroes. Like, early BKB feels so bad because by the late game, you're going to just get destroyed by the Skywrath and the Invoker even more. And it's only like 13 minutes in. You already feel kind of questionable going late game against OG's lineup. You buy too early of a BKB and that could just end your game.
you're back up again.
Yeah.
No
Tail might be dead.
He gets roared, definitely.
And he's just got a Song. Wow, they're going to go for this. It's only Beastmaster in the line. They catch in the Song, but they're going to try to find this kill on the Beastmaster at least. They rotate Ana in, and he is mega dead. The Roar comes out, does nothing. He gets Mystic Flared. Pablo is going to attempt to TP, and he will be successful in that. Stomp comes out. Hanskin's going to try to run as well. So they only get the Beastmaster with the Song, but it is, I think, Ana getting the kill. Actually, it was Rex.
I like the way they played that. Tail is basically trying to bait out the Roar to get him closer, and as he approached that far, he just used Song to set up an easy... Definitely the safest way for those fights to go. Make them overextend under your tower, and then...
This game feels pretty good for OG. They have a 3k lead. They've gotten a couple of towers. They now have the blink on the Brewmaster, which means they can jump in and start fighting even more aggressively with Diesel Blade for PL. They've stopped the Arc Warden from doing anything. He's still not at his Midas at 14.5 minutes into the game. Although he did go phase a kill one, but
It's actually surprising that his timing is that late because it felt like they were doing well in the laning phase.
Yeah.
They got multiple kills. Maybe they were being pressured harder than I thought.
I think it's that Arc Warden doesn't accelerate that fast outside of still pretty fun. As if you're got 2 deaths to his name.
Yeah,
So-
but they haven't even... I mean, he's died twice, but they haven't really focused his lane that hard. They prioritized the Alchemist over him. Like, they were wrapping around, like, tower diving multiple times before they decided to...
Yeah, I didn't keep an eye on him. Surprised to see him. Bounty Rinse just spawning. 2.
I kind of feel like they're making a little bit of space though for Alk to try and get online. He's getting towards that radiant slower than we had previously. Pablo also is getting close to his blink, I want to say.
yeah, he's got it.
Just got it right now. So that's another nice timing where you can make some stuff happen. I think that Ana's still not tanky enough that he's going to be able to survive like a big initiate, the Lion, and
I think the big thing for me, they're taking control of this top half of the map for OG. Like, they're essentially choking them out at this point. But down bottom, they have some room, which is where the Alchemist is farming. If they can ward up for OG down bottom, maybe they can control that area too. But for now, they're doing a really good job anyway of making sure that the Alkin, both the Alk and the Arc Warden don't have that much room to farm at this point.
Pop a smoke on the mid lane. It's all the cores, more or less. PL with Brewmaster and No Tail as well. He's
No
gonna break
Song.
smoke on Pablo, though. Pablo's ready for this. This is gonna
Spike.
kill.
Jumps in. He
What a
actually
hex.
doesn't get off the Primal Split because of the hex. That was nice. The finger comes out. Naga's dead, but the Root Split still goes off anyway. Earth Splitter comes through, and here's the PL. Jonas is in trouble. He does have the Shadow Amulet. I'm not sure they have Detection. I don't think they do. They did Dispel. They're still going to keep going here. They're looking for Hanskin. He's going to get dropped down. The Tornado should bring them both down at this point, and it will. Double kill for Thompson. Can they continue to chase? Cyclone should be back up, and it is. They're looking for Alchemist. He does have the Armlet and the Chemical Rage, but he's going to get dove by Ana and the rest of the crew. Pablo gets diffused up. He might make it out, and he is going to blink away, but Era is most certainly dead. The magnetic field comes out. He is going to get dropped down more likely because of the Spirit Vessel, and he is dead. And now Pablo's getting chased. They're just diving the Tier 3 tower at this point. They're owning. Oh my god.
By Pablo, and they played that pretty well considering they had the high ground, but only killing the Naga Siren made things a little hard there.
It's just unfortunate because they threw out all their damage onto the one hero, and it guarantees the split was going to go off no matter what. Like Pablo, he had no choice but to use Finger on the Naga because it wouldn't have killed the Brew, and they had no other damage. It's just an unfortunate circumstance. It seemed at first like they had the advantage because they had the high ground and saw what was coming, but as soon as they didn't have enough in the tank to kill Mad, that fight was just a strong conclusion.
Beastmaster was set up there with the line, it would have been... They can't all sit around waiting for these chance opportunities.
It's like there's like 4 good team fighters on OG. Got like kind of one side of the final tribe, and they're just leveraging that into it. Want to give a quick shout out also while we have a break in the game. BTS 2, Entity versus Sterling Global Dragons, that's Illumian Gods. On BTS 4, there's Fnatic versus TNC Tigers, which is being casted by Zyclops. And then on BTS 5, Kingwin versus Wind and Rain, the other European game, it's casted by Nomad as well. So if you want to go check those games out, feel free. Or you can keep on seeing OG just run over the final tribe in this one.
They're doing a great job. 4K lead now. 17 minutes in, almost 18 minutes of the game. They're looking to clean up the rest of the towers. They have complete control.
Everybody on OG doing a really good job just staying off map basically. They're pushing the lane barely. Hobson's constantly looking for kills of any cores over. He's going to be able to cover Ana and Dev tier 2 bottom if needed. Ross is thinking about trying to defend this, but he's got to be scared.
They're just, look at how
They're
far
behind
Thompson
it.
is
They see
behind
him.
him.
Oh my god.
Ghost Walk, Spirit Vessel. Frost is just running for his life at this point. Spirit Lane comes out.
Look at him.
Oh god.
There's nothing he can do.
That's brutal.
This is kind of what we talked about during the draft, though, is like the Quaswex Invoker, he's just a fast version of Invoker. He doesn't sit around and farm. Like, he goes in, he's behind enemy lines looking for kills, he offers a lot of control. And when you have the damage to back it up, and you have these 2 heroes like Alk, Arkboard, and they both need a tremendous amount of space, you are relying very heavily on your Beastmaster, your Lion, and your ET to really just be the driving force of your game. But when OG has a super active mid, like a Quaswex Invoker, you just don't have enough manpower to fend off all these attacks.
Well, you talk about that too. It's even the Lion. Like, the Lion needs stuff to come online. He needs that Blink Dagger before he can start fighting. Now, they're starting to be able to make moves, but they're 6,000 net worth behind, which is why I kind of thought that, like, all right, maybe they're going to go for, like, one of these Medallion, Solar Crest builds for the Alk, but the Hex is there.
They just did a little too late. They are going to get off the Earth Splitter. The Finger comes out. They might be able to get this kill. Thompson walks back into it, but he's going to heal up with the Spirit Vessel. He will stay alive, and they actually get the kill on the line. Here comes Jonas. They have the song coming out, and now Thompson saying, fight me accordingly, and they're going to look for this kill onto Era, and boy, is he in trouble. He's out of mana completely, so the damage is at least not that much from Diffuse, but he dies anyways because Ana is huge, and
Armlet, nah.
Yeah.
Doesn't work out.
No.
Almost got the Invoker. He's full HP already somehow.
The Spirit Vessel and Quas.
Yeah.
That's sick.
He's getting 11 HP per second from each Quas point. So 45 HP per second, right?
And that's before
insane.
Spirit Vessel too.
That's insane. It's actually working out very, very well here. It's a greedy lineup. Maybe they needed somebody other than the Arc Warden, but man, they've just been taking it to final tribe here.
They just needed they're either position 1 or 2 to be able to make moves. I think that's the real issue, is that neither one of those heroes from a core capacity go across the map to do anything. They both just sit in their lanes and hit creeps. I mean, it seemed like a pretty cool idea to pick Alchemist against a laner that you know is not really going to pressure him that much. That's good on paper. But if you don't have anyone else to make moves on your team besides your supports, and OG have this really fast-paced playing Invoker, and then they also have PL, who still can go to fights very early, because he gets a Diffusal at like, what, 12, 13 minutes, I think his Diffusal blade timing was? At that point, Ana can already fight, because he's a PL. So you have these heroes who just go, well, we need like 15 minutes, and OG are just not giving him the time.
You know, one thing though, they've got high ground defense out the wazoo. You look at this lineup from Radiant, like, it's one thing they do quite well.
I mean, if they can even get 1 kill and delay, and if they just take a fight outside the base, they're going to do that. They lose the Beastmaster across the map, but they do find the Brewmaster at least, so they're going to get some more room for Era, but
Yeah, it's offlane or offlane, and a trade at this point is pretty much the best that I think Final Tribe's going to be able to do. Unless OG make a mistake pushing high ground like you were talking about, they do have really good high ground defense heroes. But that's going to require a very big misplay. I mean, this is an Aegis PL who almost has Butterfly, SNY, Diffusal at 21 minutes. That's ridiculous. He's got 40% more net worth than an Alchemist.
Oh, jeez.
This guy is massive.
I love the SNY this game too. If you're pressuring this hard, you just want this big movement speed advantage. He doesn't care about silences. He just wants to
I mean,
win
look at the
all
illusions
early
go.
fights.
They just cold snap him. They throw the spear.
Oh
He's
my
actually
God.
dead to the illusions in Spirit Vessel. I think he's going to stick up and stay alive barely for now. He might make it into the well. He will. They did get the kill on Thompson, actually. He falls.
That's a lot of gold. Instantly buys back for that.
Lion trying to get back to defend, doing his best. I don't know. I think they can get the tier 3. They do have Aegis on Ana. They're going to hit the stomp, though.
Oh, maybe a chance.
Can they set this up? They have Roar. Frost is going to come in with the Magnetic Field. He uses his Tempest double, of course. They hex up Ana. They should be able to bring him down. Potentially, he doppelgangers away.
Where's the roar?
The Roar didn't come out.
It's still an Aegis. He doesn't
Yeah,
want
he
to
didn't
waste it.
want
Oh,
to.
good
Yeah,
call,
exactly.
good call, good call.
And Astra will come,
Oh,
but unless they hit a stomp. Oh, they have the Spark Wraith.
Run away!
Excellent doppelganger. Nice, nice.
He really does not want to waste that Aegis. It's really awesome if he can save it, too.
I guess it does make sense. It sucks not at least being able to burn that Aegis since there's still like, what, 2 minutes left on it or something?
Yeah, yeah. Dude, almost 3 minutes. Yeah, so.
But they defended a bit either way. He does pick up the unstable concoction cooldown finally. I was unsure which way he'd go. But I guess if you're not getting attack speed, probably worth it at this point.
He's got Radiance. That's something.
Tune up his Manta neck.
The Radiance is going to feel pretty lackluster, though.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the super early Radiance into walking at people and being able to dominate a team fight that Alchemist really wants. He's going to walk in with his ult on, get cold snapped and vesseled, and go, I want out of this game. That's pretty much how it's going to go down.
I've seen a lot of Spectres in the last couple days that got Radiance earlier than this. It's a rough life out here for an Alch.
He had a really good laning phase. It's just like eventually OG decided, hey, we're going to prioritize mid, and we're just going to run 4 heroes at your Alchemist over and over again.
There was nothing they could do to respond to that.
I feel like the one hero that's been making Final Tribes line up a little hard is maybe Elder Titan. Like, I think Pablo's been doing a really good job online, but Elder Titan does not feel as strong in these like early mid rotations. Got some disable and some lane trading, but he just doesn't do much pressure.
When I've seen it, well, we'll have to hold that thought as Pablo is likely dead here.
He gets off from Earthspike at least, and a Hex, but they need to get out if you're EFT. Yeah, they're just going to TP. Jonas will stay up here for a little bit, try to push into the tower. They've only gotten the bottom tower, and that's the only objective they've secured so far in this game. And Era's going to man-fight Ana, and it's not going to go that well. Ana's going to be able to get away. They do throw up the Flux, backs them off.
They can slow play this as much as they want. Like, as soon as Ana gets the heart, that's, I think, going to be the point where Final Tribe are really pushed into either making a decision, do we go out and try to fight, or we just let them siege, because once that PL has the regen from heart, you're going to lose your buildings. So it's hard. Obviously, it's easy to say, just fight them, but much harder to do in practice.
Yes.
Look at this, the magnetic field.
He
It's,
pops the A on this. That's nice.
it's slowing them down for sure. They are still getting close to taking into your 3 tower, even without that hard press on Ana. Fernando's going to miss. Yeah, they might just take it here, actually, although Magnetic Field will make it a lot harder, but Ana's just going to sit inside of it and just use the tower, and they'll probably take it. No glyph available. And Ana's just going to dive, and Jonas has to run.
Damage. Same.
He actually is doing so much work. Plus Alacrity, too. Oh, my God.
Mainly attack speed right now since it's points in Wex, but I mean, that's great for PL.
That's not even true. He's got 5 points in Exhort already. He's
he
level
get that?
18 on
He's
it.
got Aghanims
What the
too.
hell?
So
Yeah.
He's transitioned.
Oh my
very
God.
quickly.
this is I have not been pressured at all Invoker.
Ana's just, he's feeding his Aegis away. He does not care at this point. He knows it was going to be gone in 2 seconds anyways. And they're going to split, and they're just going to take this
good
fight. Good
stuff.
Earth Spike, though. They drop the finger. PL is going to get caught potentially this song. Can they turn it around? He's still super low. The Flux, he's not going to die to it. He needs to back up, though. They're just going to disengage now. They don't want to lose this PL. They want to make sure they can get the Heart of Trask. They're going to cycle it up the line in the meantime. I don't know if they can chase. The Brewling, the Earth Brewling is the closest. They're going to turn, maybe. Ana is pretty low, but he's going to jump back in anyway. Oh, Hanskin is just dead to the cold snap and the auto attack. That's a godlike spree for Ana. Thompson's going back in the meatball, the EMP combination. Roar onto an illusion.
Ooh.
That does not feel very good for TFT, and OG are wrecking this first game of the EU qualifiers.
And they've just been firmly in control from the beginning all the way up until this point. It has just been TFT scrambling to slow things down, and they almost get it a couple times, but Anna's doing whatever he wants this game. All the disables, more or less, from Final Tribe have to be put on him to die.
I kind of wanted to talk about the other Titan. Like, from my perspective, the hero has two primary functions. One is like a disengage or a counter initiator to a certain degree. Like if you're playing against Void, he's nice because he never commits to the fight and you can stomp when the chrono comes out, right? Seems really cool. And then the other way is you synergize it with like high burst damage of the magical variety. So like Zeus is one that comes to mind.
Yep.
But when you're not picking him in one of those two situations, I feel like to some degree he's like a forward that you want to counter pick with, not open with, at least in this patch.
Yeah.
Well, and when we've been seeing it in China, oftentimes you've also sometimes been seeing the PL banned out in the first phase because of it, because you're never going to hit a stomp on a PL. Or you pair it together with some really hard initiation, which they tried to do, but that hard initiation was something that needs like a Blink Dagger to really get online. Sometimes we've been seeing it with the Sand King, and you can occasionally make that still work. Like a Sand King, Leshrac, ET is sometimes oh wait, no, not all three of those. Sand King, ET is something we sometimes... But... tough life right now. OG looking amazing. Thompson still showing that Qualifier the way to go as they find the silence.
Derek shows up his healing mints and Blink Dagger, and Jonas has to run like crazy. He's dead anyway. He dies within 2 or 3 hits, plus a couple of spells thrown out.
I knew their opponents were going to be fishing out looking for fights, and
So there's no buyback. Oh, he actually just got it. Never mind. He just buyback. So he does have that. They can try to defend. They have hard. The rest of OG aren't here, so I don't know how hard they want to commit to this tier 3 tower push. I imagine they just siege it a little bit back up. Yeah, probably now. Earth Splitter's going to come out. They're going to try to blow Vanna, but he has a heart of Crest. Deafening Blast, they blow up the line. Now they're going to work on Frost as well. They do get off the roar. Anna's in pretty deep at this point. He might actually die. The slip comes in. Beautiful kill. Down for 78 seconds, and that's the start of something. You're still down 14k, but it is something. Oh my god, did they split
really
it?
Close.
Thompson apologizing there. As soon as the Spirit comes out, Anna runs away from the tower, but the Alacrity is the PL, so PL turns back in thinking, okay, I guess we're hitting. He gets disabled, that sets up the whole chain of initiation.
Yeah, it was just a misplay using his doppelganger super early. I guess he was just overconfident, because he used it basically to siege the tower, and then he didn't back up his main PL, so he just got caught out.
It was a really nice roar as well from Jonas.
Yeah.
Not always easy.
Link back in from Jerax. They get off the Atos. Meatball. Frost is dead. See him?
Just when you thought it was safe. It's not.
Nowhere is safe at this point.
Man, I've got to say, like, the thing about OG that I'm most excited for with this game is not even necessarily the gameplay. Like, we always knew that they're going to be good players. It's that, like, that energy that you feel like you can see from them. They're playing with purpose. They're playing fast, and, you know, they're spamming the chat wheel at each other. Like, it feels like they're in good spirits. That's something you like to see from a team.
Another cool item or cool difference for the way Jerax is playing is Skywrath Mage. He went for the Aiden perk, and he went for the Ancient Seal. Which I actually like a lot this game if he goes for a Blink Dagger, because now he can just constantly initiate and kill his opponents.
Yeah, a fed Skywrath is absolutely terrifying. Especially if you're behind this much. Because you don't have any real way to protect yourself against this combo unless you're a core, right? So the Alchemist can Manta out of it, but what does everyone else on his team do?
Yeah, they need 4 stats. Lion's realizing it. They're going to build into it for him.
They die.
Yeah.
I think.
That's more than likely what happens, yes. And at this point, they're just going to let Roche happen. There's nothing they can do about this anyway. Dead. And it takes it so quickly. Aegis and Cheese. And now they will try to siege and finish the game off here with a 17k lead.
That heart's pretty nifty. That's gonna thing real hard to do anything about it. And MKB next, like, to be honest, I think that he doesn't need to do anything except just survive and hit buildings, and the rest of the team has enough damage. But burn some mana, hit buildings.
I think you just described every single Dota game. Just stay alive and hit building.
Hey!
There you go. That's how we win. Just kill those buildings.
Is that what I've been doing wrong this whole time?
I think you figured it out, Gabe. I think you're just on that next level.
Alright, Era has no mana already, and he's dead.
Rip.
Yep.
My god, he didn't even have to Spirit Vessel him.
Nope. Tempest Double's dead. They're going to take Rax. They can try to hold with Stomp and Magnetic Field, but they've lost a lot of their damage. The Earth Splitter will come out, but Mystic Flare hits onto Jonas. Earth Splitter does hit in the Earth Select, but he's still alive anyway. Bruce Split's there. Jonas is going to die. He has no buyback either. And they're just going to Song and just dive the fountain at this point. Meteor Hammer onto Frost. What did he do to deserve this? My god.
Good stomp.
maybe they can kill Ana, but he has Aegis, so probably not. He just backs up. All right, he's just gonna dive well. Fine. Okay.
PL's a pretty good well diver.
Yep. His heart's still regenning.
Ryan's still dancing.
OG is looking really good.
Yeah, they're looking insanely good. GG.
They had a really good, fast-paced team with a very clear, I don't want to use a generic term, but it is a win condition, right? Like, PL is a win condition against Final Tribe's team, unless you are playing very, very high execution level Dota. And I think that they had some kind of idea that they wanted to pick this Alchemist to make sure that that PL win condition just wouldn't become a